hour ago, our website said it was 24 degrees in Allentown. Now it's 25. So anyway, but it's a difficult night, a tough and rough night was the phrase Mayor Ed Pawlowski used when he spoke with us a little while ago. And the crews are doing a very, very difficult job tonight as they work in those elements. I must say, as we look at this picture, and you mentioned, Wendy, how it changes from time to time. This, from the naked eye viewpoint here, this is not terribly encouraging.
No.
A few minutes ago, it looked like, well, there just wasn't as much flame showing in this shot, but now there is quite a lot. And then from the far left corner, for whatever reason, it looks like there's smoke that's blowing hard, whatever that may mean. And you can still see the flames reflecting off of a vehicle just near the left edge of the screen, next to that silhouette of a man there on the left edge. And, of course, the MAB paint store is right there between our camera and the burning homes, a row of homes. And that can't be good. There's been concern about whether the flames could skip over and affect that store. And it does look like, even from this picture, that people are pulled back a bit from where they were earlier, kind of watching. And the mayor said that because of the nature of the fire, intensity and so forth, that it's just the gas pipes that run underground are not very accessible. So you can see there would be a tall order for UGI to get this thing controlled.
And as the mayor told us, every single fire crew in the city is out there right now. There's crews from the surrounding municipalities out there right now. A lot of folks working to try to get this under control. I know we have some messages, I have some messages on Facebook from people saying, they're concerned that nobody's given us an official cause now this many hours in, but that's not uncommon when you're dealing with situations like this, because all of the officials who are typically the only people who are allowed to speak on behalf of the fire and UGI and police departments are out there hands-on right now working on trying to get this under control. So that's why nobody has come forward with an official word. You heard from Will and you heard from Bo that they have requests in with those people, and they've talked to them and they said, hey, as soon as we get that gas line turned off, things were going to change. That's the point that we're waiting for, is to get that main gas line shut off, because then we can get in there and do our job, and then we can give you a better sense of what we know. But right now, this is what they're dealing with, and we're looking at that live shot right now from the sky cam at PPL once again that we've been going to throughout the night. And I don't know if it's a matter of the wind picking up or if this is a good sign, because there were some moments when visibility, you couldn't really see anything in this shot. You would just see the smoke, and now you can see the Gross Towers high rise, some of those windows climbing up in the background, and the smoke seems to be clearing, and I don't think we're seeing, are we seeing flames? Can anybody tell down there, or is that just some flashing lights that we're seeing?
Lights, yeah.
So that might be, that's flashing lights, I'm told. So you can see some roofs, and that's a much different story than what we saw earlier, because we were definitely seeing flare-ups and some big flames in this shot. So maybe this is giving us some indication that UGI is having some luck with getting that gas line turned off.
Let's hope.
Or at least the gas that's in has been burned off. Which
Yes. Well, let's hope they can make some headway there.
Right.
It's been a long time, and they're trying really hard, no doubt, in very trying conditions. We keep mentioning our Facebook pages. I know not everybody is on Facebook out there, but a good many of you are, and I'm trying my best to both look at the pictures with you, discuss this with you, Wendy, and with everybody else, and look at now 120-some Facebook comments. They just keep pouring in, but I thought I'd bring one to everybody's attention, and that is we need to be cautious about describing this, and certainly not speculating about what caused the problem, and not speculating about how many people have been hurt or possibly even killed. And one of the Facebook commenters says that they're wondering if we can confirm what somebody else has posted as a comment on the WFMZ.com fan page, to the effect that there are X number of casualties and so forth, and X number of firemen injured. Now, somebody may be hearing these things on scanners and posting them on our Facebook page as a comment, but just keep in mind those are not official things, And we know we cannot confirm that there were 12 casualties, 12 injuries, or anything of the kind at all.
Perhaps Will will have some insight into that for us. He is live back out there. And Will, I know you have some information for us, but Rob was just, I don't know if you heard him, some people speculating about injuries and perhaps even injuries to firefighters. Have you heard anything?
Yeah, what I can tell you is the crews I spoke to here in the Incident Command Center says there's no confirmation of any injuries right now, and right now that's just what they're going on. They said they're not saying any firefighters have been injured. They're not talking about any casualties or any fatalities from the explosion. Like you guys said, they're still working on getting that gas line cut off, and I know you guys see the flames every once in a while just spark up and then they come back down. The crews are still, like you said, containing everything, and as the mayor said, there was 8 houses, and it's just like I told you, the fire started from across Allen Street, like on the side we're standing on, and then it went across the street right into those row houses. When you look down right now, every once in a while you can still see the flames still going, and right now there's still no word of why it's taking so long to cut off the gas line, but they are still working on that right now.
All right, well, hopefully they'll be able to emerge from there and give you some good news on that pretty soon. But just to clarify, you mentioned the fire. Did I hear you right that the fire crossed the street at some point?
Right, the fire was burning the debris. To kind of set it up. With the explosion, there's debris all the way across on this side of the street.
Okay.
So you had that fire on the debris to the row houses and all the way back down.
Okay, that would explain
gotcha.
what we were seeing. We were seeing some ground level flames, and that would be the debris that you're talking about.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right.
All right, Will. Thanks very much, and thanks for your good work out there.
Hey.
All right, we'll talk to Will again soon as we resume taking a look at that shot and others that we have for you. This one from PPL building as we look down from high atop PPL onto the scene on Allen Street.
And this promising, hopefully this shot seems to be somewhat promising. We saw flare-ups earlier, and now you can see the smoke seems to be dying down. It's not nearly as thick as it was earlier. Will's vantage point, you can still see the smoke here. You can see quite a bit of it, but that end of the row, at least it seems to perhaps burned itself out. But at this point, even that is good news. The flame's not spreading anymore, but we're still seeing some of those orange flare-ups, the reflection of the flames in the smoke that Will was talking about down there in that debris. So firefighters still working on dousing those flames, and the mayor mentioned it is to 8 houses now, perhaps more. Some people making comments, but like we said, none of this is confirmed. That they've been hearing that it may have even jumped to another house in the row. Not really sure how many houses are in that row. We had a street level view earlier, and they seem to be a row-like homes, kind of like maybe twins stacking the block up, but all connected. As they went up the block. And in that situation, it's always easy for the flames to quickly spread, especially with the gas lines being involved, and the mayor confirming that it was indeed a gas explosion, and that UGI is still working on trying to get that gas line turned off, and that's what the fire department is waiting for, and that's what we're all waiting for.
We are
at this point.
The a former firefighter writes to say, just as a tip, and I don't have expertise in this, but he says you can judge by the color of the smoke, the white being steam, and the dark smoke often referring to or coming from burning matter, and that not being good. So the white, if you see a lot of steam, is good in the sense that they're getting a lot of water on that. And they have poured a lot of water on that because as we, 2:23 in the morning, it's been going since 10:35 or 10:45 or so.
Right.
And they've been on it quickly. I don't know how quickly the trucks got out there, but from just about our earliest pictures, I think we saw the water streaming down onto this.
And going by that tip about the smoke colors kind of ties in with what I've been reading here on my Facebook page, because earlier we were reporting a lot of concerned people saying there's ash falling in our neighborhood blocks away. We're smelling really acrid gas smells in our homes. Our homes are filling with smoke, and you can really smell like a gas or chemical smell. And they were concerned, and now those some people are updating me saying, hey, you know what? That smell's going away. It's not nearly as bad as it was. It's dying down.
Yeah,
so maybe that means that it is burning itself off at this point. The gas line is just burning off, and they're getting closer to getting in there and getting this thing under control and getting those flames knocked down, because as the mayor mentioned and as Will mentioned, the big concern they had is they can't get inside. The fire department can't get inside to knock down anything because just for safety reasons, with the gas line still open, they're not going down there.
Right. It's interesting to see how many people not only have pitched in, and people like Jose and neighbors who were knocking on doors to get their neighbors out, but also just the flood of people through avenues like our email and our Facebook who are offering help. You know, I mentioned a nurse before, and some contractors. Some other contractors have also contacted the stations, and we'll no doubt tell you more about those things tomorrow as we continue coverage of this tomorrow during our newscasts during the day. But people, you know, a glass contractor wanting to help people with their broken windows. So we're hearing a lot from folks who want to, and then a lot of others who simply are writing to say they are praying for all involved.
Right.
And no doubt for those hardworking firefighters and police people who are, and UGI workers, all those who are out in the elements tonight trying to see if they can get to the bottom of this. And on and on it goes as we approach 2:30.
That's right, and I know you were mentioning a lot of people concerned from some comments being posted about injuries, perhaps even fatalities, injuries to firefighters and first responders. But Will said he's spoken to people down there at the command center, and so far they said they've gotten no official word or confirmation on any serious injuries, and no injuries to firefighters, and that's what they're going on at this point. No word on the conditions or if there were any fatalities caused to the people who were inside that original home where the explosion happened. Obviously, that's something that's going to come to light as this starts to die down as far as the fire itself, and they're able to get in there and see what they are dealing with. But right now, a lot of the stories are stories of escape and survival, which is miraculous, because at one point when you saw those flames, that they were serious. This was a serious explosion, a serious fire, and it was spreading rapidly, as you heard from Jose, the man across the street, where the one neighbor was kind of like, well, it's not my house that's on fire, and he convinced him to get out, and within moments that man's house was on fire. So this fire was moving quickly, and those people just ran for their lives. And luckily, most of them, or it appears almost all of them.
It looks like everybody's been able to get out of there. You know, we have not gotten official word of any kind, as we've been saying, about the house that apparently had the explosion itself in it, and the house that was leveled, where the neighbors concerned about the residents of that home, obviously. But as for others, we have no reports of injuries at this point. We have reports that Atlanta buses took many dozens of people across town, not too far, over to the Ag Hall, so they can have a safe place and a warm place to be tonight. And Bo says maybe 75 or 100 are there. And who knows where else others have gone in the meantime. We had some at a church over 22nd and Tillman, and there's the command center, of course, so people are spread out in a bunch of different places, no doubt about it. Might also point out that for a wealth of information on this, if you're not already doing it, WFMZ.com is basically all about this disaster right now. We have the streaming video and many images. We have interviews you can listen to once again that Wendy and I conducted earlier by phone with some of the those who were affected by this directly, like Karen Grabowski, who had the ceiling cave in on her. Some of those things are available. The uncut interview with Mayor Ed Pawlowski. We spoke to, I'm not sure what time that was, a little before 2, I think it was. So we spoke to Mayor Pawlowski about 1:50, and you can hear his remarks there on WFMZ.com as well.
Okay, and we're still looking at this, and you can see the flare-ups down in that corner. We keep hoping that we're going to stop seeing those, and that the smoke will start to die down. And it appears that the smoke, for the most part, is, if you look in that center of the screen up at the top and on the right-hand side, you're starting to be able to see a little bit of the black nighttime sky, which we couldn't see at all earlier.
Yep.
And a lot of that white smoke, where we had that firefighter update there, telling us that white smoke is a good thing because that's mainly steam. It's that black and dark smoke that you don't want to see, and from what I can see from this vantage point, we've been seeing a lot of white smoke. So perhaps they are finally getting the upper hand on this, because you're definitely seeing some of that black sky start to fill the top of the screen, which is a very good sign.
Which is a good sign too. Well, let's hope that's a good thing happening there. You know, it does look like they're keeping people quite a distance back. If I'm not mistaken, it seemed like some of the emergency folks had been closer to the MAB paint store earlier in the evening, hour or two ago. But there was obviously concern, and Will sent word to us from the scene that there was that concern and a little increase in tension an hour or more ago, as it looked like the paint store might be threatened further. But at this point, you can't tell much from the pictures, but hopefully it's an encouraging sign that we just see the puffs of smoke, a little bit more black sky, and less flame at this point. So.
And, if you're just joining us once again, we've been following this for you since about 10:35. So we're going on close to 4 hours now that this has been burning down there in the area of 13th and Allen Streets. You can see the smoke. This is concerning a row of homes that is right behind the MAB paint store down there. You can see the smoke covering that area. That's the row that we're talking about. You can't see the homes right now. And in fact, I don't know if you would be able to see the homes right now, because that whole block was engulfed in flames, as some eyewitnesses told us. So we're not sure what is really standing back there at this point. We were able to see the outline of some homes earlier. Now you don't really see that, at least not from this vantage point. You can see some puffs of smoke to the right. The fire started at the end of the row, which, if you're looking at the screen right now, would be the left. And you're seeing some debris down there in the alley. Will told us that is on fire right now. That house exploded, and the debris from the home flew blocks. We're told there were some people that were actually hit from debris a couple blocks away, hit with debris, I should say, a couple blocks away, and Will described it as a debris field when he was able to get down in that area a little bit earlier in the night. Now some of that debris caught on fire. And then the fire was spreading up the block, which would be going right on your TV screen, to the home, to the second home, then the third home, and so on. Up the block, we talked to Mayor Pulowski a little bit ago, and he told us 8 homes were engulfed.
Yep. Let's hope that that's dying down just a bit now. It's a full half hour, a little more, since we talked to him. And again, judging by this picture, although, as soon as I say that, we see what looks like a flare-up on the left-hand side of the screen, just to the left of the MAB sign. So I know they will be anxious to tell us when they find that the UGI
and the flames, it looks like it's getting worse at this point, and we can only guess at what it is. And Will said that was debris burning there earlier. We can only speculate and guess that that's what's burning again now, as there's just more debris down there burning. You can see some of the firefighters starting to gather, and the crowd there looking down in that area. Obviously, there's some concern about the fire spreading to that MAB paint store, which Will had said that was a concern he was hearing. They were telling people to back up just in case, because earlier he was down there along with just people, onlookers who were coming to check out what was happening. They were all the way down there, just a half block or so away from where the fire started, where that explosion was. Since then, they've moved people back a little further, and now it appears even a little further still, about a block or so away from where this is going on. And you can see smoke down there across the bottom, and even some smoke, and it looks like maybe even some reflection of some orange in that smoke. Yeah, you can see the flames now popping up on the right-hand side of the screen, just above the roof there.
So you can, yes. Again, the mayor told us that 8 homes had been involved in flame. Earlier, it didn't look like it had been that involved a thing, but it's been spreading evidently down that row, and the fire crews just can't get close enough to actually go into those homes, obviously, because the gas line situation has not been dealt with. The mayor had told us then at about 1:50 that he was hoping that within the next hour or so they'd get the gas cut off, but that has not happened yet. And of course, everyone's concerned about and praying for a family that owns that home that was leveled tonight. We have not been broadcasting names. We need to get official confirmation about that. Neighbors, though, of course, concerned, as they mentioned in our comments and in phone calls live on the air, about an older couple living there. So we'll bring information just as soon as we can. And it's good to know that a lot of other people in the surrounding homes have, to our knowledge, made it out okay. And
if you want to hang on just for a few minutes with us, I'm told that we're going to try to get to a news conference that's going to be held soon to give us hopefully some more information about what's going on. In the meantime, we're looking at a live picture here of the scene. If you want to look at the right-hand side there, you can see some of the tents set up for the emergency personnel.
All right, we are just past 2:30, and just to get you up to date, explosion 10:35, rocked Allentown, sent flames and a cloud of smoke high over the city. We even have a report that just came in that somebody in Breiningsville said she felt that blast, and of course in areas far and wide it was felt. We have no reports of injuries officially, but we understand there have been some. No reports officially of fatalities, and the coroner, to our knowledge, was not called to the scene, but there's obviously a grave concern about the family in the home that was leveled by the blast. And 8 homes involved in the fire, and you can see for yourself here in our continuing live pictures that the fire crews are staying back. They are hammering these homes and have been for hours with water from above. You can see the ladders and the streams of water and the steam created by that. Trying to get a handle on it, or just to keep it somewhat controlled and tamped down so it doesn't move beyond these places. But they have a big problem on their hands, of course, because this is fed by gas. And so that's where things stand now. As you mentioned, we'll hopefully hear some official information coming up pretty soon from a news conference. We got our information from the mayor a little while ago. I presume he and or fire officials will be at this news conference. The mayor spoke of there being the possibility of casualties, but he had no official information to offer when we had him on the air a while ago. Just simply what we know, and that is that a gas line, as the mayor said, leaked and exploded. I think that was his phrase, and engulfed these homes. And there have been hundreds evacuated, and the mayor said he thought there was no need for further evacuations, but besides the ones who have already been taken out of their homes.
Right, and we've been looking at this picture for quite some time now, and we've been talking about how it's evolved throughout the evening, going from being able to see the sky, from not seeing the sky, and being completely covered. But now it appears that we're able to see some black sky, which is a good sign.
It does. But then again, there's been an ebb and flow to this shot, as you all know who are watching with us tonight. It kind of comes and goes. Just about the time we say it looks like there's just smoke and no flame, we see a flare up of flame. So, you know, hopefully we'll have some success with this pretty soon.
And just some idea, correct me if I'm wrong, folks in the control room, but I think the news conference is going to be over at Ag Hall, and that we are going to be hearing from Bo, who is over there, and that's where people have been evacuated. About 500 people evacuated over there, and Lanta buses carry the folks from Gross Tower and from East Tower over there. They have lodging set up for them. They have water. They have food. Not sure how long everybody's going to be there, but they evacuated both towers as a precaution. That facility not directly affected by the explosion or the flames, meaning that it is not on fire. There was no fire there. But those people were evacuated as a precaution. A lot of elderly people live there. Concerned perhaps about no power being there for a long period of time, because the power in this area was cut off by PPL. At one point, about 1,800 people in the city had lost power because of the down power lines that were caused by this explosion. Since then, we're told the majority of those people have been restored, all except for 100 or so. Those people in the immediate area are without power, and they said, and that's going to stay that way until the fire department gives PPL the word that they're able to turn the power back on. Obviously, they kill the power when there's a gas leak, so that power in that area is shut off. Right now, PPL working out there, UGI obviously hard at work out there. Their big holdup is they can't get to those gas lines. They're inaccessible, we were told by the mayor.
That's quite a big holdup, too, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why you keep seeing the same shot, basically, of the firefighters just dousing those flames, because as the mayor said, at this point, it's about containment. They don't want the fire to spread, and all they can do is just pour water on the flames, but those flames are being fed by the gas, so it's just kind of
a tough situation.
Yeah, a battle that they're just trying to get the upper hand on. It's just a waiting game at this point for the fire department.
Yeah. You mentioned Ag Hall, and I presume we'll be going there soon about that, but in the meantime, the Comfort Suites, which we've been telling you had offered a place to go, we were just getting a message that, you know, FYI, if people are heading out there, they're not apparently accepting guests who have animals.
Right, no animals, unfortunately.
Those folks are being turned away at the Comfort Suites. So
I don't know if Ag Hall is an
animal-friendly
venue either. So that would be something we'd have to ask Bo, or if he's gotten word of possibly someplace the animals can go in the meantime.
Yeah.
But that's obviously an issue for some folks out there. A little cold to leave the pets outside, so understandably a concern for folks.
Sure. No doubt, besides Ag Hall and the church we happen to know about, 22nd and Tillman, taking people in, with hundreds evacuated, and Bo telling us that perhaps there were 100 at Ag Hall. A lot of people have just fanned out and scattered to other places. Perhaps they've gone with family, perhaps they are with friends they know in town. So a lot of folks are no doubt with us, watching with us tonight to see what happens here. And we are just grateful to our knowledge. The situation is that there have not been a great number of injuries.
If you want to head over to our website, WFMZ.com, we have a continuous flow of information there as well, including still photos from folks sent in from all over the area. Some really impressive photos, too, as far as to give you an idea of what this explosion looked like when it happened, the intensity of the flames that people saw and what they were able to capture. A lot of pictures, a lot of flames, and from quite some distance, folks sending in pictures of the cloud of smoke and flames from as far away as Whitehall. They were able to see it over the skyline in the nighttime sky. Folks calling into our newsroom by the dozens after this happened to tell us that something happened. They wanted to know what it was because they felt their homes rock in Bethlehem, in Center Valley, in Salisbury Township. Just the explosion just rocked people's homes all over the area, and it was a big issue for a lot of folks in this area, obviously, because we spoke with one woman who lived just a few doors up, and when this explosion happened, her roof caved in on her.
Yeah.
So
what a surprise that call was, for one thing, when she called in, and her story began to unfold, and we realized here's somebody who was in the thick of this and escaped with her life. You know,
right.
If things had landed in a different way on her, she might not be around to talk to us, but fortunately she and her husband are okay.
Exactly, and you feel for them tonight, because as she told us, and that was a few hours ago when it was only 2 houses up in flames, that she was concerned for her house, and now that it's gotten to 8, you have to think that perhaps her house is one of the ones that is involved in this fire, and she basically told us that, you know, she couldn't see the TV at one point, because then she said, but you know what, I really don't want to watch anymore. It's hard to look.
Hard to watch that whole block of homes go up.
Right.
Sounds like that's what's happening. Bo Koltnow has been reporting in from Ag Hall, where a number of people, and we got Bo on the video now. So Bo, what's up over there?
Rob and Wendy, if you guys take a look behind me, you can see there's 186 people here right now, residents from Gross Towers, and I just got done speaking with a couple people in charge here, and they told me that people can expect to be here for many, many, many hours. They are going to try to get them back, but they don't know when that'll be. You can see people have blankets. Those are Red Cross blankets. People have been drinking water. They've been getting food and refreshments. And you guys mentioned about the animals. Well, they are taking animals in here as well. They've taken 2 dogs and a cat, but they are asking if you know a family member is here with an animal to please come and get them. And one thing we've been talking about throughout the night is just how neighborly people have been and how willing to help out. And one of the guys who's helping out is our city councilman.